So we went out for Nando's. That was nice. But the feel afterwards was very odd because like last time I finished prep, it was a case where we all went out for food. My mum was with us. It was Sanaa had finished. It was a celebration. But for this time, it was like, oh, I'm done, and it felt very strange. Like it didn't feel like I was done. So yeah, went out for Nando's, and then the following morning, I went and did cardio, and then literally it was a case where like I had 3 days before I was flying out to Spain with Sanaya, and we went to Manchester on Monday, but Sanaya was prepping, so I was like, right, I'm not expecting her to be like, oh, we'll go for lunch. So I just made all my own food. I literally just ran a regular rest day, which was a bit odd. Like the following day, you're like doing cardio, doing steps, but if anything, it helps. That's what I always do. I like my routine. I like my structure. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, literally, I went for a meal with my mum. Went to Pizza Punks in in Leicester on Tuesday night, I think. And then my mum flew. My mum was away, so she flew back in. And then literally Wednesday, I was driving up to I think Wednesday or Thursday, I was driving up to Manchester. So it's been, and then I got ill, so I didn't really have time to like properly eat or whatever. I'm not the sort of guy to like after a show go and demolish 10,000 calories as a fly that's just decided to come in. So yeah, if you can see the fly, hopefully it flies out.
Hear the fly.
But yeah, so pretty much it was a case where like afterwards just tried to chill out. Like I said, I'm not the kind of guy to go out and just eat fucking everything in sight. That's not how I am. And then I was like, right, I weighed myself. I gained a little bit of weight, not enough really, all things considered. I was still doing cardio. I trained on Wednesday. And then it was a case where I pretty much had, I flew away to Spain, and I could tell on the flight. So I flew away to Spain to watch Sanaa compete in Alicante. It was a really, really good weekend. We'll get into that in a short while. And then I got ill, like on the flight. I could tell. I was like, ugh. I got some pre-cooked chicken. I'm not going to say it's that, but I bought some pre-cooked chicken the night before because I knew the where I was at the airport. Like once you're at the airport,
you didn't have it in the fridge, did you?
No.
Over here, once you're in, you're in. We really appreciate the support. So we appreciate the story tags. Please keep them coming because it means ever so much when it comes to social media and engagement. Thank you.
But the problem is like there was no. It's either that or I just get crap food while I'm at the airport that I don't really want to eat.
I don't know, most airports will have.
No, it really wasn't, mate. Terminal 3 in Manchester, awful when it comes to food choices.
Didn't have even like an M&S or anything.
It did, but nothing. It just had wraps that had 20 grams of fat.
Yeah, but you could have just got chicken from those.
No, so what I did was I got a chicken wrap. I just emptied the contents and had the chicken.
They didn't have like packet chicken or anything.
No, nothing. If I did, I would have had that. So I literally just had like 2 chicken wraps, but on the and I after I ate them, after about 15 minutes, I was like, oh, I don't feel the best. But I felt a bit dodgy when I woke up. Like I did cardio in the mornings, which again, I probably shouldn't. I probably should just chill, but I like doing my usual routine.
Yeah.
So I felt like after cardio I had a nosebleed, and I was like, oh, this is a bit odd. And granted, I'm absolutely battered still, but it's part of it. And I was like, I'll be all right. I'll be fine. Just get me to Spain. And I landed. Everything was fine. Flight was fine. It was full of like dads that were like 40 years old on the way to like Benidorm. No, honestly, it was just full of like people that were absolutely wankered by like 9 a.m. The flight was at 9:20, and there were people that were legitimately like close to being blackout drunk. I was impressed. So the flight was hilarious, but I felt a bit dizzy. And then
It's not hilarious though, is it? It's just like annoying.
No. And like there was part of the flight where I was like, I'm going to throw up here. I'm going to legitimately throw up. I didn't, which was good. And then Thursday, Friday, like I got in and I felt dodgy. Friday, I couldn't really eat much. I felt very, very ill. And then Saturday, Jesus Christ. This was actually Friday. I felt so bad. I slept in till 8 a.m. there. So bearing in mind, like for people that don't know, like I haven't slept at all for longer than like 5 hours for the last month. And I slept for like 9 hours and I like couldn't wake up. Like I literally woke up at 6 and I was like, this is an hour ahead anyway. And I was like, I fell back to sleep. Then I woke up again an hour later, I fell back to sleep. And I woke up again and I was just lying in bed. And I was like, it took me half an hour to get out of bed. And I was like, what? Half an hour. I was just like, right, get up, go to the bathroom. And I was so slow. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? So I woke up and then I thought, I'm going to go for a walk, get myself outside. And all I could think about when I was on the walk was, get me home. I need to get me to the Airbnb. I need to go back to bed. And Sanaya had registration and I said I'd go with her. And I said to her, I can't go. And I slept from like 11 till like 1. I hadn't ate a thing. And I drank like no water. And I woke up in like a puddle of my own sweat in this Airbnb on my own. And I'm like, this might be it. This might be it. This is it. I thought I survived. And yeah, that was that. So I basically went like a whole day without eating. And then I managed to eat in the evening, which was good. And I woke up the following day, and I think like the day of the Sania's show, I was like all-time new low. So I was like, late registration. I was underneath my classic weight cap. So yeah, and I literally like I could just about stomach food, and then Sunday, Monday, my digestion, like anything I ate, oh god, it was awful, so bad. It just went straight through me. Like I must have gone to the toilet like 25 times, and it was to the point where I was like, what is even coming out of me at this point? So yeah, it's been a bit of a rocky road. I say rocky, it hasn't been rocky, it's been liquidy. It's been very liquidy. So it's basically resulted in me not really being able to gain much weight. I'm a few kilos up from my like stage weight. I was 98 kilos. My lowest was 92. So you could say, oh yeah, 5 kilos, but I was only 92 for a very brief period of time. No, because I was like 92.9, and it was like, no, I was 98.1 or whatever. But that was for literally one day. And that was when I was at my flattest and most depleted. And my stage weight was 90.
Yes, guys, if you are enjoying the podcast, then please head down to the links below where you've got my own and Reese's own YouTube channels where you can follow us along there too.
5.5. So I'm like 3 kilos up from my stage weight, 2.5 kilos up from my stage weight. But my men's physique stage weight was 101 to 102. So I'm still... at this point, like we spoke afterwards, and we were like, get to 100 kilos as fast as you can, and then like 100 to 102, and then a slower steady rate of gain, but still like the rate of gain's should be pretty quick afterwards to like 105 to 110. Yeah. Like once you're at about 110, like 'cause I was very lean, like I started prep at 118, 119, my heaviest 123. I was like, yeah, cool, that'll be fine. But for some reason, my stomach just doesn't really decide to play ball. So luckily, the last few days, everything's been fine. Like stomach wise, last 2 days everything's been fine. My routine will be back to normal from pretty much today. Like today was my normal sort of morning routine. Afternoon's been sound. Tomorrow I'm back in the gym. The sessions I did train when I was there, I only did 2 sessions because I'm just listening to my body. I did an upper and lower. Were pretty okay. Like, but I could
like a decent gym.
Yeah, it was a good gym. Shout out to the owner. He didn't know who I was at all, which I'm expecting not to. But then, then the second day after I actually tagged him in a story, he must have clicked on my account and went, "Oh, he actually trains and is a bodybuilder," because he must have been my best mate. He jumped in with me for a few sets, complimented me on my strength, saying not many people are very strong in Spain. Like I put 4 and a bit plates on a hammer strength incline, and he was acting like it's the most impressive thing. And I was like, mate, I've done like 6.5 on this before. Yeah, it was a really good gym. Like, and literally, it's one of those, like we said this before we started. Like, what happened to me would be wicked if you were an absolute bellend post show, because it means you can't literally get fat. But then at the same time, like for me, it was been a bit of a stress because I'm like, I desperately need to put on some body fat. But then also at the same time, body fat will come on eventually. And it's one of those where sleep's been a bit better. Stress has been lesser based off the fact I'm not prepping anymore. So that like stress of not thinking, well, I don't really care about how I look. Like I'm almost in that in-between spot now where I'm not like, I'm very lean, but I'm pretty flat. But I've not been training, so my appetite's not that high. But within a week or two, I'll be sound. Like